Hey people. First time posting here, and I never thought I'd be that guy airing my dirty laundry on the internet, but here I am. I need to get this out, part vent, part need for advice, part what the hell just happened to my life? Let me give you a bit of background first. I've been married to Tina, not her real name, for almost 7 years. We met in our mid-20s, clicked fast, moved in faster, and got married before the 2-year mark. She's smart, outgoing, and, well, fiery. You know the type, can charm a room when she wants to, but turn ice cold in seconds when things don't go her way. I used to think it was just passion. Now I'm rethinking everything. Things weren't perfect between us, what relationship is? But we weren't screaming or slamming doors or anything dramatic. Or at least, not at first. The first signs of something off? They started with our damn sink. Funny how real problems always seem to hide behind the small, dumb ones. We've been having little plumbing issues around the house, slow drains, dripping faucets, that kind of thing. Tina mentioned it a few times, but I was swamped with work. I'm a warehouse supervisor and I do long shifts, early out, late home. She works part-time at a local salon and spends a lot of time managing the house, as she calls it. One day I came home and she said, "Don't worry about the kitchen sink anymore." I called a plumber. Great, right? One less thing on my list. I asked who it was, some guy named Rob she found through a Facebook group. Said he was cheap, local, and super reliable. Cool. I didn't think anything of it. But then the sink wasn't the only thing that needed fixing. Suddenly it was the shower drain, then the downstairs toilet, then the water heater. She kept saying, "It's old stuff, babe. Everything's breaking at once." And honestly, I believed her. I mean, the house is a little older. But here's the thing, the more stuff that needed fixing, the less I seemed to see any actual results. The water pressure didn't improve. The dripping persisted. But somehow, Rob kept coming by. She said he was coming during the day when I was at work, and it wasn't worth your time to take off work for a stupid pipe. Again, I brushed it off. But what really started raising flags? She started dressing nicer just on the days Rob was scheduled to come. Tight jeans. Makeup at 10 a.m. Lip gloss for a damn plumber? When I asked about it, she rolled her eyes and snapped, "So now I can't put on makeup without getting interrogated?" It was a pattern. She was irritable, defensive, and weirdly secretive with her phone. She used to text me cute stuff during the day. Now, radio silence. At first, I thought maybe she was just stressed. Maybe it was something else entirely. But I knew deep down I was ignoring a gut feeling I shouldn't ignore. Next part coming up. So, things kept spiraling in small, almost invisible ways. I'm usually not the paranoid type. I work hard, come home tired, try to be a decent husband. But Tina was just off. She'd snap over stupid things. If I asked what she did during the day, she'd act like I was accusing her of robbing a bank. One day, about a week after her third Rob the plumber visit, I came home early. I'd pulled a muscle at work and got sent home with some painkillers and a recommendation to rest. Didn't tell Tina, figured I'd surprise her. Bad move. I opened the front door and immediately noticed the faint smell of cologne that wasn't mine. Like, way too strong for any plumber. The kind of cologne guys wear to clubs, not under a sink. There were 2 coffee cups on the table. One was hers, pink lid, like always. The other was some gas station cup, half full. Fine, maybe she offered Rob a coffee. She's hospitable like that. Or used to be. I called out her name. No answer. Walked through the house, and everything looked normal, until I saw a work boot halfway sticking out from behind the couch. That's when I heard the shuffling upstairs. I froze. My mind went into overdrive. Am I being robbed? Did she have a friend over? Then I heard her voice. Laughing. Muffled, but definitely Tina's laugh, that fake, flirty tone she usually reserved for dates or Instagram stories. I crept up the stairs. My heart was pounding out of my damn chest. And I'll never forget the sound of her voice saying, "Shoo. He usually doesn't get home until 5. My hands went numb. I pushed open the bedroom door. There she was, sitting on the edge of the bed in nothing but a towel. And standing in front of her, zipping up his jeans, was Rob the plumber. I didn't say anything for a solid 10 seconds. I just stood there, looking at both of them like I was watching a movie I never agreed to star in. Tina looked at me like I had just broken into her house. "Why are you home?" she snapped. "Not I'm sorry. Not this isn't what it looks like." Just pure, annoyed guilt. Rob stammered something like, "Oh man, I didn't know," before grabbing his stupid tool bag and literally jumping over our laundry basket to run out of the room. I just stood there. I couldn't move. My wife, the woman I trusted, wrapped the towel tighter around herself and had the nerve to say, "It's not what you think." I couldn't speak. My mouth was dry. My heart felt like it had dropped into my stomach. And then she added, "You've been so distant lately. What did you expect?" That was the moment something inside me snapped. I'm still standing there, door wide open, my heart in my throat, while my wife, the woman I gave nearly a decade of my life to, is trying to explain away getting caught half naked with a plumber like it's a misunderstanding at the grocery store. She has the nerve to sit on the bed and say, "You're overreacting. It wasn't even a big deal." Overreacting? Overreacting to coming home early and catching my wife in a towel while the plumber is yanking his pants up like it's a deleted scene from a bad soap opera? I asked her, "How long has this been going on?" Her response? A scoff and an eye roll. It wasn't going on. It happened once. Once? I said. Because I just watched him jump out of our bedroom like he was avoiding a hostage negotiation. She crossed her arms. If you weren't so emotionally unavailable, maybe I wouldn't have needed someone to talk to. There it was. Not even 5 minutes after getting caught, and she was already trying to make it my fault. I'll admit something here I'm not proud of, I laughed. Not a normal laugh, this weird, bitter, edge of tears laugh that made her flinch. I felt like I was watching someone I didn't even know. "You brought him here? Into our home?" I asked. "While I'm out busting my ass to pay for the water heater you claimed he needed to fix?" "Oh my God," she groaned. "It's not like I was sleeping with him in your office." That was her defense. That it wasn't in my home office. I was stunned. And then she dropped this gem. "We didn't even have sex. We just fooled around a little." Don't be so dramatic. Fool around? What are we, teenagers? She kept twisting it, trying to find the right combination of lies and blame shifting to make it seem like this was some relationship hiccup, like she forgot to do the dishes or spent too much on Amazon again. The craziest part? The longer she talked, the more I realized she actually believed she was justified. Like she was entitled to cheat because I work long hours. Because I don't buy her flowers every week. Because I didn't magically know she was unhappy even though she never once said a word about it. Finally, I said, "You need to leave. Go stay with your sister or your mom or wherever. Just get out for a bit." She refused. Said she wasn't going anywhere. That I was blowing everything out of proportion. So I grabbed my keys, walked out, and drove around for 2 hours, just trying to remember how to breathe. When I came back, she was in the kitchen, eating popcorn and watching some dumb reality show like nothing had happened. And that was when I knew, this woman wasn't sorry. She was just mad she got caught. The next morning, I woke up on the couch with a neck cramp and a whole new level of clarity. I didn't sleep much, just stared at the ceiling fan spinning, wondering how I missed the signs. Wondering how many times she smiled in my face while sneaking around behind my back. She came into the living room like nothing had happened. Coffee in hand. Hair up. Wearing the same robe she wore the night before when I caught her. She had the audacity to say, "Are you still mad?" Still. Mad. I didn't answer. I just asked, "How long has it been going on, really?" She sipped her coffee and shrugged. A few times. It wasn't like we had a schedule or anything. That sentence hit me like a slap. Like this was just some casual inconvenience, like forgetting to take out the trash. Did you sleep with him in our bed? She looked at me, paused, and said, "Does it matter? Does it matter? Are you kidding me?" That was the moment the mask truly slipped. All the fake tears, the half-assed apologies, the "we didn't even sleep together" like gone. She looked at me with contempt. Like I was annoying her with my grief. So I pressed her, "How did it start?" She said he came to fix the sink while I was at work. He was nice, and they just talked. Then one day, she offered him a soda, and things escalated. Escalated is how she described a full-on affair. I asked her if she ever felt guilty. She said, "I did. But you've been so distant lately, it's like we're roommates, not a couple. I work 10-hour days so she can stay home, and now I'm being called distant?" I felt my chest tighten. Not from anger this time, but just pure, deep, aching betrayal. I had loved this woman fiercely. Defended her. Sacrificed for her. And this was how she saw me now? As some joyless ATM who didn't fulfill her emotionally? Then she said something I'll never forget. "You were never supposed to find out." It didn't mean anything. It was just fun. Fun. She reduced years of love, trust, and loyalty to fun with a guy who came to fix the garbage disposal. I stood up and told her she needed to pack a bag and leave. Today. She got mad, really mad. Said I was being cruel. Said I was throwing away our marriage over a mistake. But the truth is, it wasn't a mistake. A mistake is forgetting an anniversary. Not coordinating sex with a plumber while your husband's at work. She stormed off, slammed the bedroom door, and I just sat down at the kitchen table, staring at the tile I'd laid down myself 3 summers ago. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I just sat there, wondering how I'd ever believe she was someone I could trust. Later that afternoon, while she was out presumably at her sister's, or at least that's what she claimed, I started going through the house. Not angrily. Not like some maniac tearing through drawers. Just, slowly. Methodically. Like someone finally putting together the puzzle they'd been staring at for years. I opened our shared laptop. She rarely used it since she did most things from her phone, but old habits die hard, and what I found was more than enough. Emails. A few not-so-subtle messages in a junk folder from a burner Gmail account. Things like, "Same time Thursday? I'll bring the tools," face blowing a kiss. "You looked amazing in that red dress today. Didn't want to get my hands dirty, yet." And the real kicker, an old calendar event labeled "Plumber Visit, 2 p.m. sweat droplets." Repeating every 2 weeks for the past few months. She really thought she was slick. But here's the twist, this wasn't the first time. As I dug deeper, I found an old USB flash drive in her drawer, one I hadn't seen in years. It was disguised as a lipstick tube. Curious, I plugged it into the laptop. Photos. Screenshots. Chat logs. A few racy selfies that I sure as hell didn't take. And messages, not just with the plumber. There was a second guy. A personal trainer from a gym she never even told me she joined. More of the same, flirty banter, suggestive photos, "Can't wait to see you again" messages. My stomach dropped. This wasn't a one-time thing. This wasn't a lonely wife falling into temptation. This was a pattern. She was living an entire other life behind my back, and I'd been too busy working late shifts and fixing light bulbs to notice. And in that moment, something in me broke. Or maybe, something in me unlocked. I stopped feeling sorry for her. I stopped questioning myself. I started documenting everything. Screenshots, backups, copies to a cloud folder she couldn't access. Because now, it wasn't just about heartbreak. It was about protecting myself financially, legally, emotionally. If she could lie that easily, I had no idea what else she'd do once I told her it was truly over. And yeah, I made an appointment with a lawyer. Because this wasn't a marriage anymore. It was a lie wrapped in fake kisses and sexy emojis sent to 2-bit side pieces with tool belts and protein shakes. But the worst was still to come. Because when I confronted her about it all, she didn't even blink. She got home that evening around 7 o'clock. Wore that smug, tired smile she always throws on like a mask. I was sitting at the dining table, laptop open, flash drive next to my coffee mug. She walked past me without a glance. "Hey babe," she called from the hallway. "I'm starving. What's for dinner?" I didn't say anything. Just waited. She finally looked over and saw the laptop screen. A frozen frame of one of the photos she'd sent to her plumber. You couldn't mistake it, it was our bathroom, same stupid chevron towel she insisted on buying, her leaning against the counter, barely clothed, posing like she was auditioning for OnlyFans. She froze. Then turned pale. "What is this?" she asked, trying to sound annoyed instead of scared. "You tell me," I said calmly. "Because from where I'm sitting, it looks like you've been screwing the plumber. And maybe a personal trainer, too. How many more are there?" She narrowed her eyes. "You went through my stuff?" I nearly laughed. "That's what you're opening with?" "I can't believe you'd violate my privacy like that," she said, arms crossed now, as if I was the criminal here. I stood up. "You've been bringing men into our home. Into our bed. And you're mad I read your emails?" She paused. I saw it, the flicker of fear. But she recovered quickly, because that's who she is. She's not the type to break down. She's the type to twist the knife while smiling. "It's not what you think," she said flatly. I held up my phone and read the message aloud. "Can't wait to taste you again. I'll bring the wrench winking face. Then explain it," I said. "Explain all of it. The flash drive. The fake appointments. The lies." She stared at me, jaw clenched. And then she shrugged. I was bored, okay? My heart dropped. "You're never home. Always working, always tired. You don't even touch me anymore. What did you expect?" I stared at her in disbelief. I expected loyalty. I expected honesty. I expected you to talk to me, not crawl into bed with half the yellow pages. She scoffed. "Don't be dramatic. It was just sex. Just sex." I think those were the words that broke something in me. That phrase. Cold. Casual. Like she was talking about getting her nails done or ordering Thai food on a weeknight. "You invited him into our house," I said, quieter now. "He had a key." She blinked. That one landed. "That's not true," she said. "You must be confused." I held up the spare key Mike gave back to me. Silence. "Then, you're really going to throw all this away over a couple mistakes?" Mistakes. I couldn't believe it. This wasn't guilt. This wasn't remorse. This was damage control. And I wasn't interested in fixing anything anymore. After her pathetic excuse of a defense, she stormed out of the room like she was the victim. I stayed seated, staring at the wall, wondering how long she'd been living a double life and how blind I must have been. She came back 20 minutes later, all calm and collected. I recognized that switch. She was going into manipulation mode. "I think we need to talk about this like adults," she said. Not yell. Not throw accusations. I didn't even respond. I just pulled out the second bombshell. I know it wasn't just the plumber. I found the receipts from that weekend you said you were at your sister's place. She blinked, then composed herself. So what? I needed a break. I didn't want to deal with your moods. I went to a spa. In Vegas? I asked. She flinched. Because your card was used at the Bellagio. And I found a selfie you sent someone named Tyler with the caption, "This sweet beats my boring husband snoring any day." She exhaled through her nose. You're digging, invading my space, trying to turn this into something it's not. I stood up. I don't need to turn it into anything. It already is something. You've been cheating. For who knows how long. With multiple people. Still, she tried to salvage it. Look, I know I screwed up. But we can go to therapy. We can work through this. Now she wanted to fix it? Now that I had evidence and she was cornered? I don't want to go to therapy with someone who was letting some guy in a tool belt screw her in my shower, I said, not yelling, not even angry anymore, just exhausted. And then she said something that absolutely floored me. You're not perfect either, you know. That's when I knew she didn't feel bad. Not really. She was just angry she got caught. That night, I slept in the guest room with the door locked. She texted me from down the hall like a psycho, don't do anything rash. I'm still your wife. We can get through this. I didn't reply. I just stared at the ceiling and thought about how the woman I married disappeared years ago and how I'd been living with a stranger in her skin ever since. The next morning, she acted like nothing happened. She was in the kitchen making coffee, humming. Like it was a normal Tuesday and not the day after I discovered she'd been screwing a plumber and God knows who else. I didn't say a word. Just walked past her, grabbed a protein bar, and went to the garage to clear my head. That's when I noticed something. The spare tire cover in the corner was out of place. When I moved it, I found a gym bag. Not mine. I unzipped it. Inside was a change of clothes, a man's shirt, jeans, some deodorant, and a half-empty bottle of cologne. Tucked into the side pocket? A pack of condoms. My hands were shaking. I stormed back inside, gym bag in hand, and dropped it on the table. What's this? I asked. She turned, saw the bag, and for the first time, she looked genuinely nervous. Why are you going through my stuff? Your stuff? Unless you're wearing men's deodorant and cologne now, it's not your stuff. She hesitated. That must be my brother's. He stayed over last month. He lives in Idaho, I snapped. And I texted him already. He hasn't been here since Christmas. She folded her arms, eyes cold. So what if it's someone else's? What do you want me to say? That I've been lonely? That our marriage stopped being fun? That you stopped being fun? I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I had bent over backwards trying to keep things together. Paid the bills. Took care of the house. Supported her every dumb little business venture. And her excuse was that I wasn't fun? I didn't sign up to be your entertainment, I said. I signed up to be your husband. But apparently, that wasn't enough. She started crying. Big, dramatic tears. I stood there watching, but something had changed in me. I didn't feel pity. I didn't feel sadness. I felt done. All the gaslighting, the deflecting, the lies, it had burned through whatever love I had left. I was just a witness now, watching the slow collapse of a marriage I used to believe in. She kept crying. I walked upstairs, locked the door, and finally started packing a bag. The next morning, I was gone before she woke up. I left a note on the kitchen table, short, simple, final. Don't call. Don't text. I'll be in touch through a lawyer. I stayed at a buddy's place across town. Told him everything. He didn't even flinch, just handed me a beer and said, "Man, I always had a weird feeling about her." That hit harder than I expected. Apparently, everyone else saw it before I did. That day, I made an appointment with a divorce attorney. I wanted to be smart about this, get the financial stuff straight, protect what was mine. I didn't want her spinning the story like I'd lost it or abandoned her. She'd already proven she was good at rewriting narratives. The lawyer was calm, professional. Asked me questions I wasn't emotionally ready for, like whether we shared accounts, we did, if I suspected any hidden assets, I did now, and whether there were other affairs I hadn't discovered, God only knows. While I was in the meeting, she blew up my phone. 17 missed calls. 9 texts. We need to talk. Please don't do this. You're overreacting. Can we go to counseling? I made a mistake, I still love you. I blocked her. That night, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. I answered, and it was him, the plumber. He said, "Hey man. I didn't know she was married when we started." I backed off as soon as I found out. I didn't say anything. Then he added, "Just thought you should know, she was talking to another guy, too. Some dude named Brandon or something." I only found out because I saw his texts when she left her phone unlocked. That was the last straw. I wasn't even mad. I was numb. I think some part of me needed to hear that, to know that I wasn't crazy, that I hadn't imagined the distance, the coldness, the lies. She wasn't sorry. She was just sorry she got caught. It's been 3 months since I walked out of that house. 3 months of silence, paperwork, and therapy. The divorce is in motion. Turns out she was hiding money transfers to a separate checking account under a fake business name. My lawyer caught it. She cried when we confronted her, but by then, her tears felt like cheap tricks. I've stopped asking why because honestly, I don't think she even knows. Some people just crave chaos. Some people will destroy a good thing simply because they're bored. She tried to contact me through mutual friends, tried sending a long, rambling letter talking about what we had, but the guy she cheated with? The plumber? Yeah, they're not together. Neither is she with Brandon. She's alone. And somehow, she's still trying to make herself the victim in all this. I'm not bitter. I was. God, I was drowning in bitterness for a while. But now, I'm free. I wake up and I don't have to second guess what's real. I cook for one, and it's peaceful. I go to bed when I want, sleep like a rock, and the silence doesn't scare me anymore. What did I learn? Trust your gut. That whisper in your head that says something's off? It's usually right. Don't ignore red flags just because someone is beautiful. Pretty lies are still lies. Know your worth. Being faithful, providing stability, and loving someone deeply doesn't mean you deserve to be treated like a fool. Protect your peace. No relationship is worth sacrificing your sanity for. To anyone reading this, stuck in that fog of doubt or denial, you're not crazy. You're not being dramatic. You're just seeing the truth, maybe for the first time. Walk away if you have to. Heal. Rebuild. You're not alone. Thanks for reading, Reddit. I didn't expect to find strength in a bunch of strangers on the internet, but here we are. One foot in front of the other. I'm gonna be alright.